So, is Jeremy Zag going to pay for all of our therapy bills? Because Strikeback kinda ruined me, and I'm finding it hard to recover from the emotional distress this episode and the entire season put me through. I guess that's the end of Miraculous Season 4, and let me tell you, it's been a ridiculous and crazy and exciting ride. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's the one and only, your girl, the Cartoon Hotspot, and I'm back with another analysis video, this time on part 2 of Shadow Moth's last attack, Strikeback. I am mesmerized. Hands down, this season was the strongest season so far, and this is coming from someone who thought no other season can top and beat season 2. But season 4, you have a special place in my heart. You reign supreme. So a little heads up for those of you interested in what this video will entail. I'll just be talking about the important parts of this episode rather than summarizing everything. If you want to hear my thoughts, then don't go anywhere without giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe and click that bell button for post notifications. Without further ado, let's begin. So from the previous episode, Adrian finds the eye thingy. And yes, I'm going to keep calling it the eye thingy because I have no idea what the eye thingy is. But before he could use it to figure out what it is, Strikeback appears. Ladybug and Cat Noir meet up and start arguing as they're trying to defeat Strikeback. He mentions how Ladybug never takes risks because if she did, they'd have known each other's identities by now. And then Cat Blanc makes a short cameo. Ladybug then calls upon other heroes to help defeat Strikeback, but to no luck since the Senti monster copies all of their powers and uses it against them. When Ryuko summons her wind dragon to divert an attack, it's sent straight to Montpenot's tower where Rena Furtive is hiding, keeping an eye on everything. Carapace quickly activates his power of shelter to protect her, and the superhero team, including Ladybug, all find out that Carapace knows Rena is in hiding. Yikes. Rena quickly points out that everyone in Paris has a mark on their neck which is connected to the akumatized villain Risk, which explains why everyone has been extremely risky. Ladybug decides she needs the dog Miraculous holder, who isn't under the influence of Risk. She merges the bunny Miraculous with the horse Miraculous, giving us Pennybug. And sorry, but the hair and the blue highlights is an absolute serve. The costume? Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this later, Marinette. She concludes that Adrian would be the perfect candidate to wield the dog Miraculous since he hasn't been hit by Risk, but what she doesn't know is that it's Felix in Adrian's place. She teleports to the train, gives Felix the Miraculous, and he asks how his powers works, which she explains of course. He then gathers the information that Ladybug's magical yo-yo is a portal connecting to the miracle box where all the other Miraculous are contained. Both Felix and Ladybug go back in time to see how Risk was akumatized. When they return to the present day, everything in Paris has been destroyed. And guys, I'm tired of pretending that lives weren't lost. Like, this man, Shadow Moth, is a psychopath. I guarantee you a lot of people died. Like, you have a giant Senti monster literally crushing everything, and there's no way in hell the citizens of Paris had time to evacuate to a safe place. No way. But luckily Ladybug has magical ladybugs which will restore all the damage, so yeah. Cat Noir overhears Ladybug talk to the new holder and he immediately feels left out. Again, continuity from Kuruniko, because the root of Lady Noir's problem of miscommunication still hasn't been addressed. Ladybug introduces Cat Noir to Flammidable, which is Felix's superhero name, and she tries to get them to get along. But what's funny is how the other teammates were just staring blankly at her like, Marinette girl, there are people dying. Can we do this another time? Ladybug then devises a plan to get rid of all the Senti monsters by teleporting them to the sun. And here's what's interesting. Felix looks kind of sad and he apologizes. Felix knows he's a Senti being, but he's outnumbered. He can't protest and he can't tell Ladybug why her plan can't happen. He just has to suffer in silence and apologize. And no, before anyone starts blaming Ladybug for basically and canonically murdering the Senti monsters, it was not her fault. She had no choice. This might sound like a terrible thing to say, but it's exactly what describes the situation. It was either them or the people of Paris. She chose to protect everyone, including herself, and as a hero, sometimes you have to make decisions that are morally grey. Also, Ladybug isn't to blame here. Hawkmoth is. He's always the problem. Reminder that the Miraculous aren't supposed to be made for evil purposes, but Hawkmoth abuses that power, and so the Senti monsters are only doing what they're being controlled to do. This all goes back to the abuse of power and its harmful effects. Before executing her plan, Felix uses his magical weapon and touches Ladybug's yo-yo. They all defeat all the giant senti monsters, and then what really got me annoyed was Rena renouncing her miraculous. It got me annoyed not because it was the right thing to do. Like, if we sit down and think about it, that's growth for Alia because she's always wanted to be a hero. But even now she knows it's far too dangerous since Shadow Moth is aware she's still active but in hiding. What I didn't appreciate about this is that what was the point of the entire season? At least in my opinion, because I thought we established Ladybug needs an ally outside of the mask. And if they wanted to reinforce the whole Cat Noir and Ladybug against the world, they still could have done that without pushing Rena aside and having her renounce her miraculous. The truth is, Ladybug does need Cat Noir. She always has, but she also needs Alia. She needs both of them because they provide different kinds of support. I understand it is risky, but Alia did prove she can defend herself. That was the purpose of Senti Bubbler, to highlight her own growth as a hero. So yeah, this scene had me tearing up, screaming, crying, yelling, punching the wall, and so on. Ladybug then goes to the Agreste mansion where she finds Adrien and she asks for the miraculous back. Understandably, he's very confused until he realizes Ladybug gave the dog miraculous to Felix. At the same time, Felix makes a deal with Gabriel and blackmails him by saying if he doesn't give him Peacock miraculous, he will tell Adrien what happened to his mum and that Gabriel is Shadow Moth. He offers the ring as collateral, and what that means is it's kind of like his safety net he can fall back on if his plan doesn't work. It's just his guarantee that if his plan isn't executed, he still has one more thing. He promises Gabriel all of the miraculous in the miracle box connected to Ladybug's yo-yo. They then exchange. Felix gives back the ring, Gabriel gives Felix the Peacock miraculous, and Felix summons his power of fetch to obtain Ladybug's yo-yo. Ladybug then has a panic attack, and guys, this shattered me. This destroyed me in many ways unimaginable. And honestly, round of applause to Christina V because the emotion was encapsulated so well to the point I felt like I was in Marinette's shoes. You want to know what hits hard about this scene and what makes it so relatable? The seconds Ladybug spent in panicking, each second Gabriel took to get all of the miraculous, and that was for me was a well done scene. Because that's what having a panic attack does. You forget to take a breather and think of a logical solution because you're just wrapped up in your own fear. Adrien tries to calm her down and she says by detransforming she might still be able to gain her yo-yo back. He tells her to detransform in the bathroom and Ladybug, still obviously panicking, says she doesn't know if she can trust him because what if that's Felix? He reassures her and tells her now should be the time to trust him. By then it's too late, and when Ladybug retransforms, all of the miraculous are gone. Every single one of them. When Adrien opens the door, Ladybug has already gone. And here comes the iconic ending scene that had my Lady Noir heart screaming. Say it with me, guys. Lady Noir Nation, we won. Only the strongest of the strong survive because Lady Noir all season has been chaos. But we never lose and we will never lose. Now, it's important to note, it was afternoon time when Ladybug was in Adrien's house, but this end scene takes place at night. Two things. One, Ladybug had been crying for that many hours in the rain, and two, it's the way Cat Noir knew she'd be there. That's their spot where most of their moments take place at. He knew she'd be there waiting for him to come, and he did. As she's crying, Hawkmoth appears and threatens the people of Paris that now that he has all of the miraculous and Ladybug has failed them all, he will be prowling on their thoughts, their fears and worries unless Ladybug and Cat Noir give up their miraculous. Ladybug breaks down and Cat Noir turns up. She tells him that she's created a huge mess, and what's worse was that all season she tried to control everything but in turn pushed him away and kept him at a distance when all she really needed was him. We already know what the rain symbolizes, but there's something different about this rain scene in comparison to the rain scene in Origins, Mr. Pigeon 72, and Ephemeral. Rain symbolizes change and vulnerability, and in the previous scenes, there has always been an umbrella which represents protection. However, here in the ending scene of Strikeback, there is no umbrella, but that doesn't mean they're not protected. Instead of an umbrella, Cat Noir gives her his hand, and this is where we hear the coup de foudre, clap of thunder, and ladies and gentlemen, the reverse love square. Because they don't need an umbrella. Maybe they never have. All this time they only needed each other, and Ladybug implies that when she expresses regret over pushing him away. It means they're ready to go into the unknown battle which will be dangerous without a doubt, but their only protection is each other. this actually mirrors the umbrella scene in Ephemeral, because as we know, everything went wrong. 4 seasons down the line, and I think Strikeback was a wake-up call to them that they need to start taking risks and stop sitting on the sidelines waiting for Hawkmoth to make the first move. The umbrella kind of symbolizes that yes, they're protected, but maybe that's hindering them from becoming the strongest heroes they can be, hindering them from seeing each other in a different romantic light, hindering them from all the things that makes them vulnerable. Eventually, you have to hit your lowest point before you bounce back, and this rain scene encapsulates that so well without the presence of the umbrella, but rather Ladybug reaching out for Cat Noir's hand. Because what's always worked is them as a duo. They started this journey together, and yes, they've needed a little bit of assistance along the way, but they will end this journey together. We can die happy now. Took months and months, videos after videos of theorizing the Love Square reverse, losing hope, but guys, we finally came out on top. The Love Square has officially reversed. In fact, I would say the Love Square has dissolved because it's no longer about the barriers of the mask. It's just about them realizing who's been in front of them the whole time. Ladybug's feelings for Cat Noir have been born. He pulls her in for a hug and reassures her that they will get every single miraculous back, one by one. But let's take this scene one step further. This entire scene summarized Marinette's arc, which I have pointed out in previous videos. Marinette's arc is all about control, because without control, you're vulnerable. As a hero, it's understandable why you'd want that control, otherwise you lose credibility and people start to mistrust you. And when people mistrust you, they rebel, and that makes your job as a superhero much harder. She admits pushing Cat Noir away wasn't the solution because she can't take it all on her own. It's way too much burden for a 14-year-old. With Cat Blanc, she didn't have that control because she didn't know what caused it. She could only assume it was the identity reveal that led to the destruction of the world. And with that very vague information she does have, she tries to control the situation and avoid it. By pushing Cat Noir away, she tries to protect him and herself. The beautiful irony of this entire scene is that it takes place in the rain, which symbolizes vulnerability, and the moon is also present. It's ironic because Marinette had been trying to establish control to avoid being in a vulnerable state, but the minute she lets go of that desire to have control is the minute she falls for Cat Noir, because that self-need of wanting control is no longer blocking her feelings for him. Pushing him away prevented her from realizing she really is in love with him. Accepting her mistakes throughout this season in this short, powerful ending opened her eyes to what was in front of her this entire time, and thus the Love Square was reversed, which is where the symbolism of the moon comes in. The moon, along with the rain, uncovered her hidden feelings for Cat Noir. And can I also just say, did the Adrien Agreste, also known as Cat Noir, rally up all of the Parisians? He did that for her, right? Somebody please give this boy the world. I absolutely love this parallel to season 1 because in the origins, Ladybug stood up for the people of Paris, but now they're returning the favor by sticking with her and giving her their undivided support. And that's the end of season 4 for you, ending on a cliffhanger. And now we wait for season 5. I think this was the best season finale thus far. The emotion, the stakes, everything was there. Felix served a great role and cements his position as the best antagonist in this show, which I'll make a video on. So where does that leave us for season 5? This cliffhanger was so broad and it opens up so many routes and avenues the next season can take. I'm hoping this issue of Gabriel having every miraculous isn't resolved in the first 2 episodes, because that would feel really rushed. Space it out, give them time to flesh out character arcs. Wouldn't it be cool if season 5 begins with a flashback and voiceover of Marinette? And it's indicated that there's been a time skip of a few months, and Marinette says something along the lines of, it's been a couple of months since Shadow Moth won, and Cat Noir and I aren't any closer to getting the miraculous back. That would be so powerful. There's also the possibility of Volpina and Queen Bee returning. Also, on the bright side, at least Nuru is no longer alone, so yay. But Dusu, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, darling. You didn't deserve this. Dusu is on her way to London, all alone. Yikes. But I'm hoping Felix would be a kind hold-up, so there's hope. Regarding my upcoming videos, I'll be making an in-depth review on season 4, so keep an eye out for that. And yes, I will be continuing with the series where I explain why each holder has the miraculous they have. I'll also be making a video on Adrian and Marinette's character arc this season, as well as a video on the reverse love square, Felix and why he's such a brilliant antagonist, and the wasted potential of Lila Rossi, so stay tuned for those videos. But yeah, season 4 has ended and I absolutely enjoyed every single moment of it. I can't wait for where this series is heading and I'm super excited for it. But now I want to put it to you guys. What did you think of Strikeback? Hated it? Loved it? What are your thoughts on season 4 overall? Let me know down in the comments below. As for today, that's it from me and I'll see you again next time. Bye!